house in a town. Do you feed the dog or do you not feed the dog? Roll a d20.
Ellie. It's an adorable dog.
You feed the dog.
Yay!
Alright, we're alive. And that is an Ellie. And that is a Josh. Alright. So we are short one board fighter.
Is Ellie DMing the game or are you?
Ellie's going to be DMing the whole game. No, that'd be really cool.
Excited.
That would be actually really cool.
I won't say no to our dog DMing the game.
Because then I have to do a voice that's doing voices.
I love that.
Ellie has a very flat voice in our mind.
Yeah, we have a set mind, a dog Ellie voice.
Ellie, yes, this is Ellie.
I do not need an introduction.
I like to.
But no one has ever fed me, not once ever.
That time she put a paper. But nobody fed me that. I ate it myself.
She's so tired.
Yeah, she's like, you guys.
Okay. So, welcome back.
It was actually on the end table next to the couch, right next to me, the whole time.
Whole time. All right, so we are live. You missed Ellie DMing.
She was really good at it too. I was amazed.
Yeah, better than me for sure.
Yeah, definitely, no contest.
I was assuming that Ellie was the best DM.
Yeah, and with Ellie as DM, I leveled up, so I'm a level 4 now.
Yeah. Everyone's level 4. It'll be great. We are short a bard / fighter / I don't know what you guys are doing now. So we are gonna do a little bit of a side quest today. So when you guys wake up, it's been you guys have woken up from quite a weird day. You just landed ashore in Tresrio. Choose had a dead body in the bag of holding.
No, I'm just saying, Jay, say your name in the chat.
Okay, I don't know what.
If that is the thing that you actually want to do, then you do the thing.
Yeah, up to you guys. If you guys are comfortable with it, go for it.
I mean, I wanted to do that. If everyone is cool, I'm going to go ahead and throw a post up in Granny.
Sure.
Okay, so let's give it a couple of minutes, and then yeah. So as we're doing that, we're gonna just quickly reflect over a couple of things. Jay, you went through and watched the last 2 episodes to kind of pick up on shit to see if you missed anything. And have you made any observations that you'd like to share with the class?
To be honest, I was watching through while I was doing other shit. I have some very light notes.
Okay. Totally fine if you don't. I was just saying if you've noticed stuff that you'd like to bring attention to, feel free to do so.
Well, the thing that I picked up on, like, actually during the last session was that there is an undercity to the Citadel, which was a fascinating concept to me. Not that it's inhabited by much other than, you know, rats and filth and dust, but the idea that there are these ruined structures beneath the city, it's
like Sigil, where the tieflings are from.
It's like where?
Sigil.
Sigel's the place where the Tiefens are originated from.
Linkgate.
Yeah.
The more you go.
So there is a town that was underneath Citadel. Yes.
The other thing was just a brief note for myself about the Gauntlet Cabal.
Okay, what about him?
A regiment of the Royal Guard dating back to the war no longer follows the directives of the leadership of Citadel, as most of the elders of the city are corrupt or just up to their own shit.
So, to that, I will say, yes. So the Cabal consists generally of either current or former members of the Royal Guard. This is just generally what you've been able to grasp from seeing them.
There's a dragon outside.
There's a dragon outside. It's level 5. I don't know if you guys can handle it.
I mean, there's only one way to find out. Mordai rushes in.
Okay. You're going to need a medallion to jump dimensions.
Is that how it works?
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I knocked over all of my dice.
It's okay. All right. So, did you actually post it?
I did, just a second ago.
Cool. All right. Well, that's cool. So that yeah, you can generally assume that they're either current members or former members. The Royal Guard doesn't necessarily approve of the Cabal. They are very aware of the Cabal because sometimes they've used some of their members. Sometimes they've had to go up against some of their members. And what you've kind of gathered is they kind of have their own thing going. They have their own ideals and their own
Agenda.
And it's also really important to note, and this is something. Actually, if anyone can just, everyone can just roll what would be that? That'd be I guess that'd be a history check. Yeah.
I would have officially picked all of my dice up off the floor.
That would be an 18.
18. What was else?
12.
A 22.
Okay, 22. Addie, what'd you get?
Addie?
I think Addie got a 1.
I was muted. I was muted. I said 21.
Oh yeah, sick. Okay,
But
so
you had to fill me
this
up.
is generally enough. Now, Jay, Mordai doesn't necessarily know all these things, mainly because Mordai was more concerned about what was going on in the ring, or rather the what did they call it? The arena. Okay, we're gonna call it the arena.
We're going to toss that out for now. We'll get something better later.
Yeah, the dome or something something menacing like that, right?
The thunder damage dome.
Yeah, yeah. Generally, you all have heard of the Cabal. You've kind of all thought that the Cabal didn't really exist, because that's a little obscene, and it's a little weird to think that there's something organized and powerful enough to really go up against the city guard at all. The Senate has been a mix-up of artificers and weavers. and it's generally like the power in Vega. So to think that there's something that could just for an instant say no to it is kind of a big deal, and so a lot of not propaganda per se, but a lot of PR has gone into making it seem like the Cabal is just a myth. Everyone seems to think that the Cabal has to do with the Balor. Some people would go even say the Balor Cabal, but that just sounds funny. That's just not a bad name. So the Gauntlet Cabal, it's legend that the Balor actually gives the gauntlets to the Cabal. There's a lot of mystery in behind the Cabal, but being that you guys just happen to roll like fucking champs, I wasn't gonna divulge all that information, but I feel like you guys have earned it. And Jay, you can kind of just from just talking to each other, Mordai would kind of pick up on some of this.
Glean the finer details as a product of hanging around with a bunch of fucking history nerds.
Yeah, what a bunch of fucking nerds.
Sorry,
this
why
fucking
is the raccoon smarter
One's
than
a
us?
fucking raccoon who knows. Yeah.
The raccoon knows the most.
Yeah.
Really,
All.
though?
But oh, I was muted. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I got it. Is it maybe because Choose touched the gauntlet because Choose wanted the shiny? And so Choose just learned through fucking osmosis?
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, totally. That's sick. That's way cooler than what I thought. So you guys all wake up. The mayor, Pierre, who I'm gonna actually retcon a little bit, because the French accent I was trying to do was atrocious. And so he's going to have a little bit of a voice like this. Why not? But I said no script. God, you saw.
Those are two separate thoughts.
Oh, okay. The Balor. Okay, side note. Addie, Finn Balor got the name was from the Balor. It's the same mythological beast. That's where Finn Balor got that. Fun fact of the day.
Well, the more you know.
And it's actually that beast.
Bet the fucking smart-ass raccoon knew that.
I mean, you know, I would actually expect Choose to have a more in-depth knowledge of wrestling than the history of the fucking world. So, I don't even know. But I don't actually, that's not true at all. But I still, Choose learned through fucking osmosis. That's it. It's like drifting with a kaiju. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, and when you touch the gauntlet for a minute, for the moment, you got like one of your eyes got really red and like, yeah, it was a little. you needed a little. And yeah, like the legend of the Balor itself goes beyond political bullshit, goes beyond the Senate, goes beyond Capitol, goes beyond Citadel. The Balor is something bigger. Sometimes people have wondered Well, we're on an island, but I have never met anyone who's come from a different land. And not a lot of people have thought to actually try to like get off the island. Like they acknowledge that they're an island and that there must be other people out there, but they kind of see it like space. And how we acknowledge there's got to be life out there. One big thing that happens is when any ships or people or what have you try to go out to sea to explore it, what ends up happening is there's this almost like a ring of heat that surrounds the island, and whenever someone tries to cross over it, their skin starts to get really hot. You'll see moisture like evaporating off your skin, and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter to a point where even those who are like fire resistant can't bear to cross. And it's generally thought that the Balor might be part of this. The artificers go, no, silly. It's just part of the sun. It's a scientific phenomenon that happens, and we are a turtle island because of this phenomenon. So you guys wake up. The mayor, who has had his chef prepare a very large meal, and so everyone sits down, but one person is missing, and that person is of course Lunar, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, where's Lunar?" And you see Lunar kind of just like walk towards the table, and she looks like shit, and kind of goes, "Guys, I have a cold. I'm not going outside today." And then grabs like 4 big sticks of bacon, crunches down on them, and walks back to bed.
Who knew Lunar was such a wimp?
It's a real bad cold. I mean, mind you, you guys just like escaped a sinking ship, pulled an all-nighter essentially, kind of got some sleep at the inn. It's been a stressful time, and sometimes.
You forgot the funeral.
Oh yeah, also had a fucking funeral.
So Stumbleduck at that point is starting to like Lunar because Lunar appreciated Stumbleduck's twig. So I just want Stumbleduck to send the squirrel with one of my good berries I prepared the night before. And I want to give Lunar a good berry.
And Elaine is going to telepathically say to her, "Feel better?"
Aw.
Morda just begins mentally composing some sick beats for when she's back in action.
Nice.
She's still a fucking wimp.
And shoes?
There. Yeah, Choose doesn't know what a cold is. So,
Fucking 18 intelligence, highest history roll, doesn't know a cold.
do you think that a raccoon knows what a cold is?
Raccoon.
A raccoon didn't know what a hug was!
I wouldn't be surprised if a raccoon got sick.
I mean, I imagine the raccoons get sick, but, like, what the fuck is a cold?
Yeah, and this is like a really gnarly cold. It's like one of those ones where you're like, your eyelids are kind of sealed shut with mucus, and you have no hope in hell in breathing through your nose, and fully congested and such. And the mayor goes and says, "Well, as your friend is recovering from their sickness, you guys are free to explore the town if you like. I know you guys got to see a little bit of it. You might want to go say hi to Harry. and Larry. I believe they have something for you. And there's plenty of other things to see in our town. You guys are our guests. We've been having problems with the cabal lately. They've been we believe that they are actually stealing. We believe that people have seen them steal from our residents. Also, there's been a series of earthquakes, and we believe that they may also be behind that as well, as we've never really had that before. So just keep an ever vigilant eye out for the cabal, because they could be around any corner. Of course, my guard is the best guard, far better than the royal guard, and will do any steps or take any steps needed to secure the city and its safety of its citizens. But you guys are free to explore for the day, and eat as much as you like.
Juice hops up on the table and just starts cramming food in their mouth with a reckless abandon.
It's at this point, I would like everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Fuck you!
I mean, okay.
5.
18!
13.
22.
Is this because of the raccoon? Did the raccoon do this to us?
I hope not.
Okay, so what did you guys get?
13.
5.
22.
Josh, 22. Okay, so as everyone else is sitting eating like people,
Wait,
chooses
does this,
jump
Was there a comma
was
in there?
I got a 19.
Dexterity.
Sorry.
Okay, dexterity. So and Shoes is up on the table, eating away, when an earthquake strikes. Now, Choose does an amazing job and is able to hold on to the table as the world is essentially shaking. And so you did a great job. Mordai, you go flying off your chair and you land on the ground. Unfortunately, the table rolled a 1 and is actually flips over. And so as it does, it kind of collapses and kind of just flips over. Choose, being as dexterous as Choose is able to jump off and lands on Mordai's head after Mordai had fallen over.
Choose's true home.
Unfortunately, the food is just ruined. There's broken glass all over it, and essentially, you guys got a pretty good start into your meal, and then it was unfortunately lost.
Is the chef anywhere around?
You hear a lot of noise. Actually, I should go for the chef too. Ooh. Oh, okay. So you hear a lot of banging and pots rattling and and then you hear a silence, and then you hear oh no.
Is the kitchen off the dining room?
No. Yeah.
Mordai pokes his head in there.
No. And you see just the whole kitchen's just a fucking mess. there's glassware broken. Pots and pans are everywhere, all over the ground. There's like a pasta that was being made all over the ground. There's lasagna upside down on the floor.
Is it just the chef, or does he have any staff?
No, it was just the chef. Everyone else had kind of just moseyed out.
And he's looking distraught as shit, right?
He's really upset.
So Mordai kind of makes his presence known. Hi ho.
What?
Could you use a hand?
I don't know if there's gonna be enough hands for this one.
Well, I've got 2 of them.
And then the mayor walks in. He goes, "Oh, chef, don't worry. We have servants for this." And then the mayor goes and makes a giant whistle. And like 4 people rush in. They all look kind of like they have like black pants and like gorgeous red coats on. We're gonna for now gonna call them red coats. And they are like working right away to kind of like start getting things cleaned. But it's a real doozy. So the mayor says, "I'm very sorry about our meal. I would encourage you guys to go out. Come back. We'll have a very lovely dinner. I'll break out some of the special wine."
I'm so sorry. You go first. I was just going to say, I need it to be known that whenever we get up to leave and Choose is sitting atop Mordai's horns, Choose turns to look back at the food with wide, tearing up eyes and just goes, and that's that. That's my addition.
So Mordai says, listen, I don't know what you were in the middle of. Obviously, you're a bit behind now. I'm not a chef, but I know my way around a hot pan if you could use some help.
Why don't you make a persuasion check?
Sweet Jesus. What's my bonus for persuasion? It is... Why the fuck did I not take proficiency in that? 20.
Hey, good job. Okay, so hold on. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so the mayor's like, "Ooh, yes, foreign cuisine. I am a big fan."
I'm sorry. Fucking Josh Goldberg.
I figured that could stay in the chat.
That was really well done, Josh. The viewers at home, you'll never know.
Josh, I'm not even mad about this one.
Good show.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Good show.
Inside jokes. So, the mayor's like, "Wow, that's a really weird response to someone being very excited about culinary, culinary excitement. Yes, chef, what do you say?" And the chef puffs out their chest a little bit and goes, "Is my cooking not good enough?"
What a diva.
No, I mean, that's fair. That's a fair response.
All right.
We're all there.
Off you go. I need Oh, I don't know why I keep going to the French accent.
Because chefs are always French. That's how it works.
Exactement.
Yeah,
Hello.
you watch
Hello.
Ratatouille?
French cuisine
Okay,
dominates
so
the rest of the world
he's
for
going to be a
some reason.
French chef now. Pierre's no longer French, but the chef is. Get out, I need to get started.
Quickly scoots out of kitchen.
And while you do that, Choose is just like... All right. Plot twist, we're in France. I love it.
Exactly.
Well, if you look at the name of the town, Tresrio,
Yeah.
so which isn't quite French.
You never said it. You said Tresrio.
Tresrio, because English. So it's like, jeez. Okay, so yeah, you guys are kind of shoot out of the kitchen, and the mayor's just kind of like, I'm sorry for our chef. He's a little eccentric.
No, I didn't mean to offend.
Another time, perhaps. And so, yeah, you guys are kind of shoot out of the maison, the mansion, and you guys are kind of left to the streets to go do whatever you wish. What do you guys want to do?
Admire the trees.
Should we go to the brothers today?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
You guys can do that. I'm gonna need Addie to roll an admire check.
No, what was that? Okay, just a D20. Okay.
Yeah. No, you need to roll a d5.
Oh, a D5. Okay, look at that. I still got a 26. How weird.
Weird.
Weird. Strange. I admire the fuck out of that tree.
Yeah, the tree's amazing.
Tree
Yeah.
is
So,
something else.
yeah, you guys, if you guys want to go to the Gemini shop, the Gemini boutique,
Oh.
you're free to do that. If there's anything else you want to do, you can look around. Whatever you like. You want to go see Doll, if you want to go see Poe, plenty of people's, whatever you guys wish.
I mean, do we really want to go bother the brothers today? They did just find out that they lost their father.
Yeah, and
It's been not even a day.
we're also down one party member who would want to be there to talk to them. But
Yeah.
Choose goes where Mordai goes. So
Ooh. Let me just double check some numbers real quick. Okay, yeah, I was remembering some numbers completely wrong. We do want that party member there to talk to them.
Stimbleduck just wants to walk around and look at things. Like shrubs.
Yeah, I really feel like we should put off talking to the brothers again until tomorrow. For now, why don't we take care of some business and see if we can rustle up some excitement around town.
Okay.
Are we playing tomorrow?
Yeah, that's fine.
wait, we're not playing tomorrow. We're playing next Friday.
No,
I meant-
as in
I
like
meant
in-game tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Wow. Hi.
I just had to answer Addie's question. Sorry.
Sorry. I didn't pick that one up. I'm slow.
Okay, so if your main goal right now is to admire the shrubberies, so in the main kind of like Centreville, the center, the town center, where the inn slash pub was, you kind of have like the inn, and then across the street from that was Poe's shop, and then you have the Gemini shop. Then you had a couple other stores you haven't really looked into yet, and then you have this weird-looking tent on the other side, like the other road. If it was like a three-way stop on the other side of the road from the inn is a weird purple tent.
Can I can I do an investigate? Try and pick out some details on that tent.
Can Choose also do that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I guess that would be a roll if you want. Oh, but
And-
one thing I was going to note before you do that, or if you do it anyway, in the center of it, of like, there's one road, like a perpendicular road. In the middle is a gorgeous tree that has white apples.
That's where I'm fucking headed. Yep.
Okay.
So I'm not going to specifically try to investigate, but my
Your passive's really
passive investigation is 21.
How is it 21?
Because I have the observant feat.
That is insane.
Choose got an 18 for an investigation check on this sweet ass tent.
Now you're specifically looking at the tent. Josh is just like anything that's going around.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jay, what did you roll?
Oh, a 13. So it's very good that like squinting tiefling just has this raccoon also
Okay.
leaning forward and squinting on his head.
So, what you two notice is it's a pretty large tent. It's kind of one of those tents that has like posts that are going straight up. It kind of looks like a miniature version of like a carnival tent. It's a gorgeous royal purple with a little carpet under at the entrance and a sign that says psychic readings. And psychic readings by Valera. And I'm trying to figure out how, with your passive, I almost kind of just want to message you what you see.
I mean, I didn't know it was an effective method.
Are you just hanging out looking at the tree?
Oh, of course.
What's your
I would
passive? What's your passive investigate?
It's just a +3.
So 13?
I didn't roll for it though, because
Yeah, the passive would be a 13 then.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly message Josh. Well, I worry if I keep doing this, it'll kind of ruin the narrative a bit. But, Josh, where are you? There you go. Thank you. That's very nice of you.
You're welcome.
Actually, I'll just say it. You seem to notice that there's a young woman who's kind of seems to be getting into a disagreement with Poe, the blacksmith.
The
And
blacksmith that only says his name?
yeah.
Okay.
And you see a few people kind of over that way. From if you're at the tent, that is what you see.
Okay. So Elaine's gonna walk over to the two of them and say mostly to the woman, because that's the one that says things other than their name.
Okay.
What seems to be the trouble?
Oh, this is my father. Him and I are disagreeing on something. It's a bit of a private matter, but if you must know, my father won't let me go out at night when I want to go have a social life. But my father is very strict on keeping me at home when the sun goes down. And to that, Poe goes, Poe, 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 Poe. You see, he wasn't always like this. He used to be able to say more than just his name. But there was an accident a couple years ago, and his shop burned down. A few other buildings burnt down. The Gemini shop was spared, but there was far more shops here a few years ago. Oh. Yeah, it's no longer Ho. It's Poe. Is there anything you'd wish to do?
I was going to say something.
Well, right now I was actually looking at the message cantrip that I did before, and I realized that I was thinking of a different thing than what I actually have. So before, when I was saying that it was telepathy, this one isn't actually telepathy. This one is just the person that I point to hears a whisper. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, it's my understanding that's a give message and that person can respond.
Yes, but this isn't the one
That's
that
not
I
like
could.
in your head.
Right. Yeah.
They just hear the whisper.
Right. This, you do have to speak the same language and everything.
So you scared the shit out of Choose the other night.
Yeah, well, yeah, just because hearing a random whisper, I understand that being weird. But, yeah, the reason that I was pausing and looking at that was because I was going to have Elaine try to telepathically speak to Poe and see if he thinks in, like, just his name or not. But then I realized that that's the wrong thing, that I don't have the ability I was thinking it was.
Yep.
Okay. How old does Poe's daughter look?
What? Sorry. How old?
Yes.
You would gather she's in her early 20s. She is she looks to be human. Doesn't look like Poe much at all. Poe is like fairly disfigured. I believe I kind of gone into that a little bit, as a massive head. The daughter, who hasn't really introduced herself yet. But she says, I apologize. My name's Elva.
Hi, I'm Elaine. I was just passing through town. I was in the shipwreck, I don't know if you heard about the shipwreck that happened recently.
Oh, we saw the plume. We saw the plume of the smoke coming up from the ship. It was very scary, and we didn't think anyone survived.
Yeah, we honestly didn't think that we were going to survive either.
Well, I'm really glad you did. Glad you came to our shop. You should look at. We don't get a whole lot of strangers like this. You should come inside sometime and look at our wares. We do have quite a bit of variety of swords and shields, if you like. But I really do need to speak with my father.
Okay, I'll let you continue that. I'm sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. You notice something that kind of just, as if something kind of just like passes by. You know, like you're not exactly sure if you saw anything, but you kind of notice like a very fast-moving blur, kind of in the back of your eye. And so when you look around, you don't see anything, but something you did like that kind of happened to you.
Okay. Gonna look around a little bit, but if she doesn't see anything, then she's just gonna ignore it.
And so this time, Poe actually starts freaking out, and he kind of goes like this: "Oh, oh, 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 oh," and Elvet says, "Where's his hammer? His hammer's gone. Dad, where'd you put your hammer? Dad, where's your hammer?" And Poe just starts holding his head, and he's freaking out a little bit.
Elaine is going to put her hand on her necklace to see if it's still there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. And when you do, you feel it's very hot. Not burning, but it almost feels like it could burn.
Okay.
Very hot.
And I'm gonna just quickly like discreetly just check if anything was stolen from me, like if I have all of my stuff.
Yeah, all your stuff is still there.
Okay. So yeah, Elaine's gonna continue to look around and see if she could see what might have stole his hammer.
Okay, so that'd be a perception check, an active perception. What is your active?
Okay.
I guess I'd make a roll.
Yeah. That would be a 16.
Oh, okay. So you don't see anything.
Okay. It's funny that I rolled my perception and my active perception was worse than my passive.
Yeah, you're really just like when you're not even focusing on something, you pick up on everything. But
Yeah.
So we should probably go back to the rest of our party here. Stumbleduck, what are you doing?
So I'm chilling by this tree. And Stumbleduck, I feel like at this point, would send up his squirrel to investigate the apples that are white. And if they're good, if they're in the clear with the squirrel friend, maybe drop down a few.
Nice, yeah. And so, is there? God damn, I'm not used to this edition. Stumbleduck. So, is there? There's not like a knowledge nature, is there?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
It's just a nature check.
And I am proficient in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want you to do a good old roll for me.
I got a 20.
Oh, sick. Okay. What does it tell you? Um. Okay, so 20. Yeah, it tells you a little bit about everything, eh? Okay, so you know these apples to be dimwit apples. These apples are dimwit apples. They are, thank you. They are apples that grow all different times of the year, and they're kind of random. Like when you would expect like a normal harvest season, they just don't show up. But they might start growing in the middle of winter. They're lightly sweet, a little tart, very delicious. And there's groups of people. There's a town like you even think Tresrio probably has like a dimwit apple festival at some time of the year. The funny part about dimwit apple festival is there's never like a set time in the year when they do it. But they're very they're kind of a very cherished treat. And the app, there's plenty of them.
Okay. I want my squirrel to send down 5 apples.
All right. So your squirrel just kind of crawls up to the thing and starts nibbling on the little branches and ploop, and just plops down 5 apples. And you're a pro at catching apples, and so you're kind of just like, and you've got these 5 apples.
And with those 5 apples, I'm going to hand one to the raccoon because it looks so needy, and it looks like it needed one of these apples. So, hand one to the raccoon. I'm going to have one myself now.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give one for Mordai and Elaine to fight each other over.
Nice.
They get to decide who has one.
Okay.
I mean, do we just roll strength, or do we want to like roll initiative?
No, you should both roll persuasion first.
Well, considering that I'm probably not right there.
Yeah, you're not right there, so Mordai, I'm going to give you advantage.
Yes. Okay. 18 persuasion.
Okay.
And that would be a 13 for me.
All right, so yeah, Mordai, you have the apple in your possession.
Like, I feel like Elaine doesn't even know that. Like,
yeah, Elaine doesn't really
went down.
know about the apple yet. So you guys are free to start eating those. Mordai, choose. You see this tent. What would you guys like to do now that we have kind of gone back to the other side of the split party?
Mordai says, small cat, what do you think?
Well, Choose just threw a mouthful of like half an apple stuffed in its tiny mouth, is trying to say thank you to Stumbleduck. So just kind of like, that's all you keep hearing from atop your head. I would imagine that Shoes is also still drooling while eating the apple. This is not a pleasant experience for you. Why is it raining apple chunks? This is bad.
Yeah.
Apple chunks and spit.
As you guys eat the apple, sorry to interrupt. As you guys start to eat the apple, you guys start to feel really kind of just like oddly happy.
Are we truly
No, it's a very just like it's you're not like drunk or anything. You just feel like yeah.
I was thinking that as you described the apple, I'm like, are we gonna eat
Yeah.
like a hallucinogen? Like, is this?
Is it like
Harvest
euphoric or just like good mood?
You're muted.
Yeah, you guys are in a great mood. Just good mood apples. It's funny because like dimwit apples are kind of like apples that when you eat them, you kind of some people start giggling a little bit like an idiot. So that's why they call them dimwit apples. I mean, also because they don't show up, but that's just like they just put you in a good mood. And that's why people like to have festivals around them.
I think that Stumbleduck is gonna real quick thank the tree for everything that it has provided. Just a little pat on the bark.
Nice. And then the tree gets up. No,
Have a grand old time.
it's an end. Yeah. Yeah.
What a plot twist.
Welcome.
Who knew France, of all places, had ends?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys do?
Seeing as Choose is not the current walking member of this party, and Choose got what Choose wanted, Choose is waiting on you, Mordai. You're the one with the carrying feet.
Yeah, Mordai's gonna. Oh, feet. I see. Yeah, Mordai
really
starts
funny.
walking toward the opening of the tent.
The F-E-A-T.
And Choose obviously goes with.
Walking.
Stumbleduck is gonna follow because he's actually in a good mood. He's not being a grumpy old man right now.
Cool. So you're going into the tent. Elaine, are you coming back to them, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I think that Elaine's gonna come back to them and
Okay,
see
so
if they're going into the
you
tent
kind of
and follow.
notice that as you're walking back, that they're kind of going into the tent, and you're like, "Oh shit, wait for me!" And when you do that, you see another kind of like a kind of a blur. Actually. Yeah, you just notice a blur, and you're like, "What the fuck was that?" And, if you want to do a perception check, if you could.
Okay, I am going to. And I see nothing. I got a 7.
Yeah, you don't see anything.
So I just continue to the tent.
All right, so yeah, everyone enters the tent, and you walk into the tent, and it's really dark in there. There's a few like little small tables with incense and candles, and in the middle of the room is a larger round table with 3 seats on it on one side, and a very large, almost like throne like chair on the other side, and on the table is a crystal ball, and behind or sitting in that throne is an old lady with who's very very skinny and has gray hair and is kind of just sitting back a little. Looks like she's a little bored and as if she was waiting for you guys.
So Mordai has dark vision. Does he see anything more in the tent?
No.
Okay.
It's not that dark. Like you all can see. It's just like dimly lit for mood. And so you all, she says, "Welcome to my tent. It's very nice to see you all, except one of you's missing. Oh no. Is Lunar sick?
Yes.
Oh. It's this one. Okay. I would love for you guys to have a seat, and I will tell you your futures.
Mordai checks that Choose is secure and just like takes a seat with eyes still like locked on the old lady.
I was just gonna say that if you sit down, Shoes is just still gonna be there, happily eating apple and drooling. Good times.
Stumbleduck is gonna just happily go along with it because Apple. Don't do drugs, kids.
Mordai the Observant is just a little confused at how it's still raining inside the tent, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
That's good.
Elaine's gonna sit down as well. No? Oh, that wasn't. Yeah, Elena's gonna sit down as well. And you're muted still.
He knows that he's muted, but
I was saying you could unmute for a second.
okay, I have unmuted.
So, Choose is going to have to make a Constitution check?
Choose has to make a Constitution check?
Yes.
For what? Oh, God!
Would you roll?
Might be.
That was a 1, but hang on. Do I add things
It's a critical miss.
Yeah, it's a critical miss, so I don't add my modifiers, right?
That doesn't-
But Russ does Choose have Trash Panda Constitution.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but Josh Goldberg, your Trash Panda Constitution doesn't do jack fucking shit for Constitution. It doesn't give you any bonuses. It just means that you have advantage against. It's advantages against poison and illness.
Is this from the food? Is this considered the poison? Is my question.
No.
Okay.
He says no. He's
And then talk to him.
okay.
Okay, so it's at this point, Valera says, looks at the little trash panda on top of Mordai and says, "Bless you," and then Choose sneezes. No, you just sneezed.
So I sneeze apple chunks.
Yeah, a little like it just rained down a little bit on Mordai, and you're like, that's really, the weather's really bad. There's something going around. Yeah, she says, "Bless you," like 2 seconds before you sneeze. So she says, "Okay, if you guys would like to have a seat, we'll get started."
We both sat.
Right. So what I'm going to show you is not necessarily what the future holds for you, but what the future can hold.
Okay.
And she holds her hand out, and you notice she's got kind of like a set of 4 rings on her hands that are very shiny and kind of look familiar. And so she holds her hand out and just blows on it, and when she does, all the candles go out, filling the room with a bunch of smoke. And when you do, everyone needs to make another Constitution saving check.
Well, fucking apple.
For sake.
You have to mute yourself.
Sorry.
That's right.
Okay, I got a 4.
Okay,
I got a nat 20.
great.
I got a
Duality. Duality is raccoon.
Well, I beat one person.
But wait, hang on. It's the nat 20. Hang on, but then I get more into that, right? So it's technically a 23, but a nat 20. So this is duality of raccoon.
I got a 7.
Okay, so you got there's a 20, there's a 4, there's an 11, and what?
12.
Okay. So everyone but Choose passes out.
Should I do a constitution check for my bat?
Your bat?
Yeah, Lane has a bat.
Yes.
No. Your bat's fine.
Okay.
Wait. So when everybody passes out,
You're just sitting there.
but does Mordai fall over?
No, you're fine.
Choose is on top of Mordai.
And Mordai's just kind of slumps over a little bit.
So Choose doesn't fall off.
Yeah, Choose is fine.
Good.
And but you're kind of concerned about what's going on because it's a little smoky.
Just start screaming.
Yeah.
Ah!
And so this is where the next part of this happens. I just need to get some water really quick, as my throat is a little.
You want me to grab it for
If you could, that'd be great.
Where's your water, Baba?
I think it's up there.
Okay. Where you go?
Is that right?
Okay, don't fall over. Good job, me. All right.
All right, good job.
Could
Oh, she's so beautiful. She's beautiful.
So,
could my bat notice that I fell asleep and
Yeah.
try to bite me to wake me up?
yeah, I mean, you can try if you like.
Well, I'm not gonna try. The bat's gonna try.
Your bat could try. I will say right now, it's very unlikely that. What's up? Oh, great. Shit. It's very unlikely that it'll happen.
Yeah, I kind of wouldn't think that it would be likely to happen, but
I mean, you can go for it if you want.
it's a bat, so it's not gonna.
Yeah.
Okay,
You are all in a very deep sleep,
Yeah, that's what I figured.
and then you
but
wake
the
up
bat
with no
is-
kidneys.
So the bat bit me.
Choose is just screaming, covered in blood. What? Kidneys?
None of the blood is Choose's.
Yeah.
Choose didn't do anything with the kidneys either.
Yeah.
Choose is just like,
Okay.
He's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, you're beautiful. I have to go back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So yes, the bat bit me. Should I take in 1 HP of damage, or is it just a nip and you'll say that it doesn't
I
damage?
wouldn't say it doesn't do any damage. You're gonna want to keep your HP.
I mean, it sounds like
That's
you're
a good
taking a long
plan.
rest anyway, so.
What's that?
So it sounds like you're taking a long rest anyway, so.
No, you don't know that yet. So, okay. You three wake up, and you aren't who you are.
So that's
In fact, you wake up with a lot of beeping and alarms going off. Each one of you wakes up in the cockpit of
Wait, are you shitting me right now?
of
You're not shitting me right now.
I don't think he's shitting you right now.
But that means that I'm. Never mind. Go on. I'll shut up.
the cockpit of. You're not exactly sure. It takes you a couple of minutes to really figure out what's going on. Stumbleduck, I'm gonna need you to do. Would that be Constitution? I'm trying to figure out if you're panicking or not.
I think that would probably be a will save.
Yeah, let's do a will save if you could. That'd be great.
So will saves, best I
Oh.
can figure in 5th edition, take the form of charisma saves.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
make a charisma save.
Charisma? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it together.
Where is my D20? There it is.
Which doesn't 100% fit, but I guess charisma fits better than either of the other mental stats.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think that wisdom is actually the one that's kind of considered a will savey type one.
I mean, the DMG was specifically talking about essentially a sanity check for one situation, and it went over a charisma
Okay.
check for that.
So here's what I rolled.
A 1.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you spend the first 6 seconds freaking the fuck out because you realize what this is.
Okay, but how is Stumbleduck freaking the fuck out? You have to laugh.
Yeah, so Stumble. Actually, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna explain what this is, and then you're gonna tell me how you're freaking out.
Okay.
So, you 3 realize you guys are in the cockpit of Titans.
Okay.
You are in individual cockpits, one person per Titan, and you have a sound coming out of speakers in the cockpit, and it says, "Capital is lost. I repeat, Capital is lost. Titan 4 is down. Capital is lost." And it's when that happens, you realize you guys are in the middle of a firefight with probably the biggest thing you've ever seen. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. So you are in a firefight with a corrupted behemoth. It's the likes you've never really imagined. This thing is fucking huge. Now, you'd think movies like Pacific Rim or anything like that. This is kind of like a Class 5. Fucking big.
So, by hearing Capital has fallen, does that sound to Elaine like the end of the war when the Capital, like, exploded? And
Yeah. So so what you see is Citadel in the sky, and it's floating up there. You see a town underneath. Underneath the city, and in between you and the city is this fucking corrupted behemoth. And Addie, how's Stumble doing?
Stumble is at this point banging on walls, screaming words that aren't necessarily words. He is legitimately not okay.
And also like
freaking out.
Twig's nowhere to be found.
Twig isn't. He doesn't know anyone around him. He has no safe space. He has no friend. He is freaking out. He wants out of this place. He wants to go back to his forest, and he is not happy with this.
Right.
But what everyone else would hear, it's not that eloquent. It's a lot of just screaming and freaking out and like just fear.
Can you roll a d20 for me?
I got a 6.
Okay. Cool. So when you're like freaking out, you're like, beep. You hit a button. And when you do, it's weird. It's a weird sensation. You just basically see a mass just leave your leave your Titan, and you realize these are just like a fuckload of like missiles that just go flying straight into the corrupted behemoth, and it falls back a little bit. And when it does, it steps on a couple of buildings. When it does that, you notice that how's the best way to explain this? You notice that the city of Citadel, which is floating and rotating in the sky, seemingly kind of just becomes unhinged a little bit, and is kind of just like slowly, kind of just teetering a little bit. You notice it's kind of slowly kind of starting to fall. And so I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to do what you'd like to do. I'm going to generally assume that in this instance, you know you are who you are, but you are also the pilots. And so you have a general knowledge of who you are and what you're doing, which you don't quite get right away, but then it kind of just flashes back at you like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And do we know that the other two are with us?
Yeah, you're very conscious of the fact that there's 3 of you here.
Okay.
Sorry, how close are we to the corrupted behemoth?
It's hard to gauge due to the fact that you are as almost as big as the behemoth.
So let me tell you what I want to do, and you tell me if it's within the realm of possibility. I mean, the goal here is Mordai rushes in. I want to punch it.
Yeah, let's do that. And so you have your machine is kind of like Cherno Alpha.
Yes.
So it's kind of like it's got really nice big shoulders, but it's like pretty lean, and you start huffing it over there, and you just boom, sock it straight in the face.
Oh god!
And you just see part of its face just and blows off. And actually, I need you to roll a d20 on that. Actually, if you could roll 2 d20s.
A fucking course. That would be a 1 and a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Jesus Christ.
Write that down. Okay, I'll remember that. And okay, so you hit it really fucking hard. And yeah, it gets knocked back a little bit. I'm gonna make actually, if you guys, all 3 of you, could roll initiative.
With our normal stats?
Yeah, just oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
18 for me.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
I also got an 18.
Cool. Okay. So Stumble, it's your turn.
We're fighting the behemoth?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna make you do a will save.
okay.
Yeah. So just yeah.
That is a 9.
Okay, that's enough. You're scared, so I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna make it so that when you do your attack, whatever you choose to do, basically with your Titan, you have a little bit more ranged weapons. You are very. You have a very like. You seem to be slightly taller than the other your 2 teammates, and your Titan seems to be kind of like almost like a wall. Like it's not like a round like cylindrical body like most like mechs you would imagine would be. It's kind of like you have arms and you have legs, but you're like almost like a rectangle, and like you just have massive amounts of payloads of missiles, and you're able to do melee combat as well, but your power is really within your arsenal of shooty fun stuff. And so you have 5 buttons in front of you.
So
One of them.
my question.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are we like fully in control of these pilots?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What about the buttons? Sorry.
So you have 5 buttons. All of them have varying degrees of like from 1 to 5. You have 1 with 1 missile, 2 with 2 missiles, 3 with 3 missiles, 4 with 4 missiles, and 5 with 5 missiles. You're not exactly sure what all that means, but you can kind of guess that. You assume they wouldn't send you in with like bad weapons, so like the smaller amount of missiles would probably be just like larger, more powerful missiles, but they're less likely to hit. Whereas the large amount of missiles are kind of, it's like a shotgun. You're gonna just point and shoot, and you're gonna get it.
Well, Stumbleduck definitely doesn't want to fight. Stumbleduck wants out. So after his little freak out, he's probably gonna stumble a little bit, and
Okay.
then
Is he
hit
gonna
a bu-
duck? Addie's so done.
he's gonna hit a button at random. He doesn't really know what he hit, but it was an accident. He didn't know what he was doing.
So that's what you're gonna do. If that's the case, I need you to roll d20.
11.
Okay. So you hit the middle button, and so you see these pretty large missiles kind of just come from each side of you. You have 1, 2, and then 1 from above you, and there's 3 large missiles that kind of spiral, and they head, and they seem to be heat-seeking of some sort as they kind of curve towards the behemoth, and the behemoth gets hit. And if you could roll a 2d20 for me.
2?
Yeah.
2 and 15.
Okay. So yeah, you do a lot of damage. You actually make this, you knock this behemoth prone, and this behemoth is kind of looks like a golem, but it's glowing purple, and its eyes are like a bright green, like a light green, like almost like lime green kind of. And it's if it were like lava, but just neon green. And so you knock this thing back, and it lands back onto the city below. And when it does, it spends its move action to actually get up. And it's its turn now. Actually, do you choose to move anywhere?
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe just a step back. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. So it gets up and it grabs one of the larger buildings from the city below, and it throws it at the at Stumbleduck, and so you're gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw.
What is my dex bonus? Alright, 20.
Okay, yeah. So it throws it, but it's like clearly a little dazed. You hit it pretty hard, and so the building that kind of looks like a tower kind of hits the ground and crumbles at your feet. And its second attack, it's going to make a swing at Mordai.
Can't Wonder Woman your way out of this.
I can Wonder Woman my way out of anything. You shut your fucking mouth.
And apparently I can't roll. So it goes to swing at you and misses your head, but kind of... so it's a powerhouse punch. So your head is like basically right here. Now, I'm going to give you kind of an attack of opportunity before we get to
Thank you.
Josh. Given your knowledge of essentially the Gladiator's Dome, you've been in this position before. So what do you do?
Sorry, what was the very last thing you said?
What do you do?
Let's see. Arms kind of sailing over my head. You said like a class 5. I mean, so it's definitely got some mass on me.
Yeah, but you're also fucking huge too. You think you might be able to lift it, but it would be like pretty hard.
I'm gonna go for it.
Okay.
It sailed right over my head. I'm gonna try and just wrap the mech's arms around it and just like drive it down into the ground with my shoulder.
Kind of like a football tackle.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Just make a strength check.
For Christ's sake. 17.
Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah. So it kind of goes. They're not incredibly smart either. They're basically like they're conjured. Someone goes, "Go kill that thing," and then it kind of goes, "Okay, off to work." And so it goes flying back, and when it does, actually isn't able to. Yeah, okay. So when you kind of like tackle it, and when you do, you're actually. Could you roll a dexterity saving throw? I want to make sure see if you can stay up.
Christ. 5. So I'm guessing not.
Yeah, no, you fall down.
Meh.
And when you do, the behemoth kind of rolls backwards and kind of is able to kind of get back up on its feet, but it's kind of just like a little unbalanced. And then it is Josh's turn.
Okay, so what type of mech do I have?
You have, they call this one the sharpshooter. You don't have traditional like bullets, but you have this. You have a sword on one arm, and then the other arm you notice is kind of like a really big laser beam.
Okay, I am going to try and use the laser beam.
Okay, so I should tell you a little bit more about the laser beam. This takes a little bit of time to work. So it's like conjuring a 2-turn spell.
Okay.
So you need to kind of prepare for a turn, and then at your second turn, you're able to shoot if you are able to concentrate.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm kind of further back than the...
Yeah, you're pretty far away. You're kind of between Tresrio and the city of Citadel.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna charge my laser.
I'm a firing my laser. I need you to make a D20 roll.
I love you.
And I guess
I got a
would that be-
7.
You got a 7. Now, for modifier, I'm gonna get you to add your spellcasting modifier.
Okay, that's +4. Actually, my spell attack bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a +6 then.
Okay, yeah, you totally got this. So you kind of just set up. You're pointing at it, and you're going, "Oh, do you know?" You can say whatever you like. Like I'm a fire in my laser, if you'd like. And so yeah, that's your turn.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So basically now it's your turn to your guys' turn to kind of just like you realize you're able to see what Elaine's Titan is doing, and so you kind of just want to keep it distracted / not moving so you can hit it. So your strategy tells you can either do two things. You can either knock it down, so it's prone, so it's easier to hit, or you can grapple it to make sure it doesn't move. Now both of you have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I'm going pretty much full on Piccolo.
Are you going to grapple
And
onto it?
Oh yeah, and Russ, I know that has special significance to you. I'm going full on Piccolo. We're killing a Saiyan right here. I'm grappling.
Okay. So before we do that, choose. You're in the room and everyone's asleep and the lights have gone out. You have dark vision, don't you? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're able to see that Valera is kind of just sitting there. She looks a little concerned, but she's also looking like she's watching.
Okay.
Like she wasn't like she's kind of looking straight into her crystal ball. Yeah, that would be Goku. Actually, no, that was.
Oh yeah.
Who did that initially? It was no, who was it?
Yeah, Dutch Holger is totally right. Goku held Raditz, and Piccolo fired the special beam cannon. I totally had it backwards.
Yeah. Oh, special beam cannon.
So it's official. Mordai is Goku.
Yeah, totally. So you're watching. Valera is watching through the crystal ball, and you can actually see what's going on. And you kind of like do a d20 roll, dear.
An 8.
Okay, 18. So yeah, you totally see. You understand what's going on. Like you understand, like if you were say watching a TV show, you could understand that. Okay, there's 3 mechs trying to kill this giant BC thing, and you think that these 3 mechs are your friends.
Okay.
Do you try to wake them up? Do you basically have a free action here to try to wake them up? You can try to do something to Valera. You can eat your apple.
I mean, if you were going to try and shake anyone awake, you do have 2 great big handles to shake Mordai's head with.
Yeah, you can go for help. You can do whatever you like.
To be completely fair, literally this entire time, I've just pictured Cheers sitting on top of Mordai screaming.
Okay.
Like, that's it. That's all that's fucking going on is Cheers screaming. But now that Cheers, like, has an opportunity to do anything other than going, ah! Ah! Like, continually, just holding half an apple in one weird little hand, No, it's the half of an apple's just stuck on one of Mordai's horns, so Choose can scream using both hands. But now that Choose has a choice, Choose should probably do something, right? What would Choose do? Okay, so Choose understands that what Choose is seeing is their friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that my friends are in danger, but it also looks like they're kicking ass and doing fine.
Yeah.
So, they're handling themselves well. Choose feels still fucking terrified and is now just, eating the apple, staring at the crystal ball while screaming. And eating the apple at the same time. It's a mess. Mordai's still getting covered in apples. I'm sorry, friend.
So, that you would want to.
Wait.
On
I don't know what's happening.
Would you say that you would want to maybe like ready in action?
Yes.
Okay. So in the event that shit hits the fan, you can like try to wake someone up.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we're gonna get back to Mordai's turn. So you're gonna try to grapple.
Yeah. I'm gonna, I guess, move to where the behemoth fell. I'm assuming it's going to be attempting to get back up. So
It's
I guess
already kind of gotten up. It's kind of just like it's not quite unprone, but it's getting to that point.
So yeah, pretty much just as it rises, try and just get it into a lockup.
Okay. So just make a strength check. All right, we're gonna do a strength contest.
All right. 15.
1. Okay. So yeah, you're totally able to grab it.
Oh God.
And you're gonna just like point it at Elaine's mech, whose gun is getting brighter and it's glowing a bright green. And that's from the Limithium that's kind of like powering these things. And it's like pulsing and getting bigger, and it's really kind of a beautiful thing. And it's at that moment you realize, ooh, this might end up like Goku. But your resolve is strong. You're holding on to the behemoth quite well, and it's struggling, and it's at that point. Stumble Doc notices the city starting to fall more. It's starting to move a little bit faster towards the ground, and it has a little bit of time. Like it's really far up there, and it's not quite moving like that. But you're noticing the city starting to fall. What would you like to do?
Would I be big enough to assist it? Honestly, even if I couldn't, I think Stumbleduck would panic react and try to go to the city and try to get it.
So you're like the biggest mech of all three of them. You don't think on your own you could stop it, but you could certainly help it.
Yeah, Stumbleduck is gonna try, make an attempt at least.
Okay. All right. So it's gonna it's not quite in reach, but you're kind of just like you're running up underneath it and just kind of bracing yourself, and you're kind of getting like good footing, and you're kind of just getting ready to grab the city. Underneath the city is like a big, almost like a rocky golf ball.
Okay.
And you're just gonna try to get ready to brace yourself for when the city gets close enough to you. Cool. Okay, I rolled another 1. So it's struggling, and the behemoth is trying to get out of the way and trying to move. It kind of realizes what's going on, but it's like
you kind of, due to your knowledge of grappling, you've got it in like the perfect kind of like grasp, so it's not going to move. So Elaine,
Okay.
as your weapon is starting to power up more and more and more, you're noticing a lot of like alarms going off, like you have it's overloading. So I need you to make just a D20 roll. We're gonna see how you fare in managing this.
That's just
Plus, yeah. So you're just gonna like managing it. So like you're gonna keep aim. You're kind of just like keeping shit together long enough to make the shot.
okay.
So you're gonna add your
Now-
spell, your modifier, your spell attack roll rather.
Okay, the attack bonus is +6.
Yeah. So just make a D20 roll and see how it goes.
I got a nat 20.
Fucking A. All right. So yeah, nat 20. Your gun is going, and it's starting to pulse brighter and brighter. It's almost like the green light is almost starting to overpower your sensors, and the screen in front of you is kind of just like growing, pulsating green light. But you're aiming and you're hoping and you're just like, okay, let's do this, and it fires off, and your hand, not your hand, but the mech's hand explodes, and a laser shoots straight through the behemoth and almost just completely removes its center. And while you do that, it hits Mordai's mech pretty hard. It's hit its abdomen
Now, I was
pretty
going
hard.
to ask, with the nat 20, would I be able to like adjust the aim at all to not hit Mordai's mech?
It being the position that Mordai had to be in to kind of like really hold it into place. You did a really good job in doing so.
I'm like directly in the line of fire, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're directly in the line of fire, but even so, you're not quite like out for the count. But you're like heavily damaged. Mordai's alarms are going off. Beep 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 beep. Damage in the central hall.
With my movement action, could I help Stumble Duck?
Yeah, totally. So you fire it off, your arm's kind of blown off. You don't even care. You just start booking it, and you're a really fast mech as well. So you start booking it, and you kind of just got like this big jog going. And you guys don't even talk to each other. Your communication lines are open, but you realize what's going down, and you are able to run up to next to Stumbleduck's mech, and you kind of brace yourself as it's starting to come down. Mordai, you are still kind of holding on to this carcass, and it kind of just falls in half, and kind of just falls in front of you. You realize there's not a whole lot left that your mech can do. It can move. You're a really fast mech, but you're not exactly sure what you can do still. Your weapons are offline. You get the sense that you're probably able to move. What do you do?
I realize I'm not the most stable. Do I think I could get the mech into some kind of position where it could do something to help support Citadel?
Yeah, you think so.
I do that.
Yeah, so you get there, and you're kind of just you're stumbling over there, and your mech is almost like it's almost like a tin can lid, but in your abdomen. You're trying not to like lift your arm too high so you don't like fall in half, and you're just making your way back up there, and
It's
You
like a
kind of
slinky, but it's my spine.
Yeah, and you kind of position yourself like Atlas, kind of, with because you don't think you could hold it up like this, but like you could kind of just hold it up like that, and when you do, yeah, the city just comes down on you, and your systems start overloading. Alarms start going dee 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 dee. And so you guys kind of realize that this is kind of the end. Your comm systems are open. Do you guys say anything?
Well, first, I'm a pilot in a mech at what I'm going to assume is the end of the war, so I look in my jacket for what I am very sure is going to be a cigar.
Oh, of course, and there's a cigar, and it's a nice one. It's made in the town of Spoons, that's known for their cigars. And these guys, it's an artificer town, and they don't use any magic. They grow this, and they make it. It's a primo cigar, and you're able to light it up. Do you guys talk to each other at all?
I think Stumbleduck is just mumbling a bit. Like maybe he says, "This isn't how it was. This isn't how it's supposed to be."
Okay. Keep in mind, what you would have saw would have been the other encounter. So, in the last war, you know that there was 4 Titans and 2 Behemoths. Titan 4 and the other Behemoth were at Capital. Capital was the Artificer City, and that's what you would have been able to see given your location.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
saw.
also referring to him as a person.
Oh
like,
yes.
You're not supposed to die like this.
Right, and so you all kind of get like in the final moments of the city falling, you realize this might be it for you. That you understand that you were in Tresrio, you're transported here. You don't quite feel like this is a dream because everything feels really real, and you kind of all get the impending sense of doom. That this, if you die here, this might be real.
Mordai says, well, I guess the pilot says, well, gentlemen, if this is it, it's been an honor.
Does Elaine say anything?
No, I don't think that she does.
Okay. Choose. You see a very panicked. I'll unmute or mute myself in a sec. You see a very panicked Valera looking at the ball, and she's really concerned. And you kind of have a sense that she's the cause of this. Like she's channeling whatever is causing all this into the crystal ball. And the way she's kind of just like grasping onto it, you feel like the crystal ball is the key. What would you like to do?
Choose would like to throw themselves from the top of Mordai's head and in one swift action tackle the crystal ball and send it to the floor to shatter.
Fucking A. Roll D20.
For what kind of check? What?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics? Oh. I'm sorry?
Athletics is weird. What's that?
Choose does a flip in the middle of it, so it's acrobatics.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a 12?
I'm sorry, wait, did you say Choose does a fucking pirouette off the handle?
Yeah, totally. Like
Toads.
in the process of doing so too, like throws the apple onto your horn and flips over, and so you roll a 6 here?
I rolled a 6, so I got 12.
Okay. Yeah.
I was hoping that would go better.
That's good enough. You kind of you roll and you kind of like land in a good way where you're able to kind of like roll and grab it and throw it into the air.
Okay.
And Valera just kind of goes, ah! And the ball smashes.
And as the ball smashes, I want Choose to be staring Valera dead in the eyes and just like quietly growling.
Right. Okay, so when that happens, it goes pitch black. Everyone who has dark vision, pitch black.
Okay,
It's
well...
an artificial darkness.
Oh, fuck. An artificial darkness?
The
And
fuck
everyone
did you
wakes
do,
up.
dumpster dog?
Everyone wakes up right before they get crushed.
I saved all y'all's asses. That's what the fuck just happened.
And
That's
Sorry,
what the
can you say
fuck
that
dumpster... That is what Dumpster Dog just did. Dumpster Dog just saved all of your butts.
And when you all wake up, the darkness is gone, and Valera is gone.
Is the crystal ball still on the ground, shattered?
It shatters.
Sick. So, like, that's still there, though.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool.
So do we wake up and there's still darkness, or by the time we wake up, it cleared up?
It basically, as you're opening your eyes, the darkness fades.
Okay. So now Elaine is going to say, well, I think that we just saved Citadel in the past.
Something was burning, and I don't have it anymore. And honestly, that's just fucking rude.
What's that?
Said something was burning, and I don't have it anymore. And honestly, that's just fucking rude. There was fire, and now there's not. And where I come from, that's a way to start a fight.
You do you, Mordai. You do you.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys realize that you're not quite sure if it was a dream or a vision. Elaine, you know that if you were to go out and look at Citadel, it is being held up by 3 mechs. And so you feel like there's a bit of truth to what you have seen. And you do feel somewhat responsible for what has happened. You guys know something odd happened in the last couple of minutes of the war. The Titan, the strike force that was deployed for the last battle was in fact like the last 4 Titans built that you know of. They were called, what did I write that down as? I wrote it down. They were called the Firehounds, colloquially. And they were known for being fairly hot-headed, and they talk a lot of smack. And in those final moments, something peculiar happened. When Titan 4 fell, it went radio silent. And in those moments, that's when the world was saved, or Citadel was saved. So you're not quite sure what happened. You feel like all this kind of occurred, that you guys influenced the past. You're not sure where Valera went, as the room is empty, other than you guys and the furniture. And Chew's on the table, just like kind of huffing and puffing a little bit, just kind of just realizing the gravity of the situation, a little proud of Chew's self for saving the day. Pretty nuts. What do you guys want to do?
Well, Stumbleduck is just gonna kind of like choose another apple and then storm the fuck out. Stumbleduck wants none of this. Maybe grab like 2 more apples on his way out, and he's just gonna head back to the mayor's house. Okay. Not having this.
Elaine is going to try to gather the pieces of Ball and say to Choose, can I put this in your bag?
Okay.
And she's gonna put the pieces of it into the bag for now.
Okay. Okay.
And now she's also gonna look around and see if there's anything that seems like it might be a magic item or any books.
What?
Elaine, make a check to see if you see it.
Elaine, make a check to see if you see anything, says the DM.
Okay. That's investigation, I guess?
Yeah.
That's a 17.
Okay, so you see on the tables several candles that are blown out. Actually, I'll mute myself here.
Good idea.
You see several candles that are blown out, some incense holders. You see on behind the throne is a set of crystals. There's 2 of them, and they are they are the size of a vine tomato. They are translucent. On the inner core, it's red. It's like red radiating into purple. And there's 2 of them.
Okay.
You know them as like sorcerers, or like stones that what's the word I'm looking for?
Scenting stones.
They're stones that mages
focus.
and they're focuses. You recognize these focuses. You don't know much more about them at first glance, but you recognize as those are them.
Okay.
As well as you find 120 gold pieces.
Okay. I'm gonna put the focuses in the bag as well. And I guess are the gold pieces in its own pouch?
Yeah, it's a pouch.
Okay. I don't know what, like, the reason Elaine's taking the magical things is because she wants to, like, see what they are, and I don't think she thinks of it as stealing, but I think that if she takes the money, she might think of it as stealing.
Does anyone else take the money?
I mean, does she tell?
Yeah, do you tell anyone? Do you?
I'm gonna say right now she picks up the coin purse, I guess it is, and is just looking at it, and she's just looking at it, deciding what to do.
And so
So
she's making it easier for herself by making it known that it exists.
yeah.
What do you two do, or three do? I guess Stumbleduck's kind of already stumbled out.
So is
Here,
the
hold
gold
on.
is the gold in a bag or is it just loose? It's in a bag.
Yeah, something.
But is the gold visible in the bag? Like, can you see it?
You see, the bag was open.
Okay, the bag was open,
Yeah.
so the gold is visible.
As Elaine is holding it in her hand, it wouldn't necessarily be visible, especially from your height.
Okay, you're right. I'm fucking short. That's fair.
But it sounds like gold.
Yeah.
It sounds like gold. It sounds like shinies, and Choose like shinies. So, Choose is you're holding it, right, Elaine?
Yeah.
So Choose is gonna climb up onto your shoulder to look in the bag. And you're making it known that you don't want the bag, right?
Well, she's just looking and trying to figure out what she does, and then when she sees you, she's gonna turn to you, and then and say, she kind of like attacked us and disappeared. So I guess she left this for us to keep, huh? I guess we could say she gave this to us. She just...
Listen, if she put all these fucking apples all over me, then she owes me for the fucking dry cleaning.
Okay, so it's at this point, Choose needs to do a wisdom saving throw? Thrall.
The throw was what?
You're up on Elaine's
Oh yeah, the
shoulder,
necklace. Shit bits.
and the necklace is right there.
Shit bits. Wisdom? Alright. That's a 5.
Okay, so Choose is like looking at the shiny stuff, and then looks down at Elaine's necklace, and it's kind of calling. It's calling out to Choose, and Choose kind of just wants to go over and grab it. Now, Elaine, I'm going to give you a chance to respond to this. You immediately see what's happening.
Okay, Elaine is immediately just going to drop to the floor.
So Choose can't see the necklace, which would mean that
And Choose being on my shoulder is going to fall back.
this is true. But, so what happens to the bag when you fall to the floor?
Right, so when you do, the bag falls back as well, and a couple of gold pieces fall out, and the bag is on the ground. You are no longer in the thrall's grasp. Elaine is. Or actually, you beat it, didn't you?
She kicked his butt.
Yeah. So, yeah, the gold is on the ground, and that's kind of your main concern.
So
And Elaine knows exactly what the necklace is. So Elaine is like, okay, I understand if you like try to come forward, it's gonna cause problems, and it's best just to leave it on me, who I'm used to it right now.
that is totally fair. But now they're shiny things, and Choose likes shiny things. So Choose is going to go, shine mine, and then is just stuffing the gold into their pocket. So how much gold
And
does...
specifically the coins that fell out?
well, is the purse also there?
Yeah, the purse was on the ground.
Yeah, the bag's on the ground. So Now Choose can see that there's gold in there, so Choose just takes it. Choose just takes it. But the thing is that Choose doesn't even like want it for money. Choose wants it because it's shiny. That's the truth. So how much gold does Choose have?
120.
Well, shitballs. All right, there we go.
Okay, so Josh, I do have something I need you to do. Just make a D20 check. I would put your wisdom on there.
Is it a saving throw or just straight wisdom?
Straight wisdom.
Okay. 15.
Cool. I'm going to tell you something in a sec. I'm going to message it to you. Yes. So now that this has all happened, Choose has the money. You have the stones. Mordai, do you look anywhere? Sorry, go ahead.
Choose technically has the stones because I put all of it in
the bag. You do have like an adventurer's backpack, by the way. So you are able to carry shit. But if you're willing to just...
That's true, but Elaine wanted everything together and wasn't going to put shards of crystal ball in
the bag.
That's fair. It's like, I'm going to put that in an interdimensional space.
Fair. Okay, Mordai, I know everyone else has kind of looked around a little bit. Are you going to be looking around?
Well, yeah, Mordai was watching this exchange. Mordai responded earlier when asked about coins by saying, you know, the bit about the apple bits and the dry cleaning.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, Choose doesn't have tons of concept of money. So,
no.
are you going to, I'm just going to have you do a quick perception check.
Oh, that's actually not bad. Modified 20.
Right. So behind the kind of on the other side of the throne, you notice a very large, kind of like blood red and like deep dark gold jacket. It's a really pretty jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about
swag.
Yeah, it's some pretty nice swag. You're not exactly sure what it does.
I definitely go over and look at it.
Okay. You see a very beautiful jacket. It's blood red and it has like gold lining. It's very flashy. You imagine that it would be a little too big, but you imagine that Valera would probably use it as a showy piece to wear. That would be kind of to at this point you've kind of that Valera's likely like some sort of con artist. And
I've met charlatans.
Yeah, you've met a few, and so you gather that this is kind of like a charlatan jacket in the sense that it's meant to be. It's a showpiece. It's a showpiece. It's very flashy. If you were to walk around with it, people would be like, "Oh, that person's cool." You would see this jacket, and you're reminded of the attire that not necessarily the gladiators would wear, but sometimes the gladiators, the more accomplished gladiators, would sometimes wear like gear to the ring, and you would think that this is kind of like a ring jacket.
Having just been, you know, non-consensually thrust into a situation that I'm really not convinced wasn't actually lethal, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up.
Okay. Add a jacket, a flashy jacket, to your inventory. Hold on.
Oh, Adam.
Actually, I need to check something really quick. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is cool. What's your charisma right now?
Mine?
Yeah.
16.
16?
Mhm.
Okay. So once you kind of get attuned to this jacket, you notice two things. You feel like overly flashy, and like you can kind of take on the whole world in it. You feel very reminiscent of your fighting days, and you realize you actually get a plus. It's a temporary +2 to charisma for the first 24 hours, and then you have to take it off. It's not something you meant to be like held or worn in battle per se, because it's fairly not necessarily fragile, but you can see it like it's not gonna help your AC at all.
It's an event piece.
Yeah, it's an event piece, but it when you wear it, you have a +2.
Nice.
Yeah. And the second thing you notice is it's in your pocket. You notice. One moment. Okay. You notice a flute, or more like kind of like a pin whistle. And it's an old bardic pin whistle. And you're not quite sure what it does. Oh, cool. Good job, Germany. Finally. Fuckers.
Nice.
So you notice there's something about it that you don't quite understand. And you're not exactly sure you could understand. But yeah, it's a bardic pin whistle. Or tin whistle, sorry. Tin whistle.
Should choose do a perception check?
You could.
But I don't want to cut more dice than sure.
No, that's go for it if you want. So we were both muted. You said 12. All right. So again, you see that it's a bardic, it's a bard's tin whistle. It's a tin whistle. It seems like there's something to it other than the fact that it's a nice little whistle.
I meant like a perception check on the room, like
what?
everyone else had done.
Sorry?
The room?
On the room?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
But that's what I just did.
Oh, yeah, you don't notice much else other than the candles and the incense that just burnt out, and the nice chair. But other than that, you don't really notice anything else.
Are there any papers, any books? Any writing?
So you notice a few like clearly blank pages, but and then you see one little note on it, and it's kind of like not like a crumpled up piece of paper, but it looks like a torn piece of paper, and you see the word Balor on it. But as for the whistle, you feel like Lunar would probably know more about it.
Okay. Well, you said there are candles, right?
They just burnt out.
How many candles are there?
There's 6. They're kind of like melted to the tables that they're on.
Okay.
And they're pretty low to the ground, or low to the table.
What color are they?
They're white.
Okay. Choose does not take the candles.
Okay.
That.
So Stumble's just waiting outside at the apple tree, just like really just upset about everything.
Well, has Stumble been eating any apples?
I don't think Stumble would, but like I don't think he'd eat them. He'd gather them, but the apple. He's blaming the apple for getting him in the situation in the first place.
So Stumble, when you get outside to the tree, you notice something peculiar. You notice a raven sitting in the tree. And it's kind of just looking at you.
Well, Stumble's just gonna be like, well, I had a bad day. We all have them. But what just happened was awful. You don't understand.
It's at that point the raven responds with, "Caw!" and then starts to fly away.
Didn't really need that right now.
Understand what the raven said?
Yeah, you would. You understand. You get the general feeling of remorse. Of remorse, but the odd thing is like normally with animals, you're pretty on, like you're pretty able to like straight up just understand them.
Mm-hmm.
This raven, you only were able to kind of get the overall feeling of remorse. You didn't get the whole phrase of "Hey, I'm sorry."
Well, I'll take it as that then.
Catcher. Catch the raven.
I'm not chasing a raven, John.
Say nevermore. Fuck you.
That's a raven.
I just find it odd that after we visited a psychic, I see a raven. I mean,
I mean, I find it more
A
odd that
raven
after
that you
having
can't understand like other animals.
What?
I said a raven that you can't understand like you understand other animals.
I was finding it more odd that after having your mental state altered in not one but 2 ways, you have trouble understanding an animal's speech.
It's been a rough day, guys. Just
I
let
mean,
me
not
collect
all
my
speech
apple.
is the same.
So Elaine isn't there, but Josh thinks that raven was the psychic.
I'm gonna punch it.
Let me read. Yeah, Stumbleduck wants to do over. Stumbleduck
No.
pulls out his Glock
No.
and starts firing.
Starts what?
Firing.
Firing out
And just boom.
a Glock.
Just explosion of feathers.
Yeah.
Just an explosion of feathers. Was
It
Stumbleduck
turns
just
out
walking
that
away from
Josh
it?
was wrong.
It was just a bird that's bad at talking.
Stumbleduck will no longer communicate with animals that have social anxiety.
Dumbledore picks up severe alcoholism. Oh,
Stumbleduck no longer eats special apples.
Stumbleduck's life is in shambles currently. Thanks, God.
No, man. Like the
Stumbleduck
only
no
thing
longer
that's
eats
like
smoked
keeping it
food.
together right now is the apples themselves.
Right?
Because they're not like a I'm drunk apple. It's like, hey, things are gonna be okay apples.
Grown a crippling addiction to them, and it's sad because the trees only pop up randomly every now and then. So
No,
what
it's not
is
the trees. The trees are always there. It's just the apples grow.
Oh, well, the
randomly.
apples grow randomly, so like, what's the gnome to do?
just a crippling
I wonder if you could
dimwit
get-
apple addiction. Dimwit apples on the black market.
Other apples just aren't the same. Like,
And I'm
What
Granny
are you
sorry.
trying to
Smith,
say,
that's
Jay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry?
I was just saying, I wonder if you could get Goodberry to grow something akin to a dimwit apple.
See, I was gonna
I'd
say,
try.
like, later on, druids get, like, spells that you could make trees bloom and shit. You could just grow your own dimwit apple tree and make it bloom whenever you want and get all the apples.
Or you could go
So-
talk to Dolph.
Hmm.
They make their own beer.
They make, like, apple beer? Did they make, like, apple cider?
It's pretty easy.
So Mordai's going to Dolph. I can see by that face that Mordai is going to Dolph.
Yeah, is that what you do?
Well, first, Mordai puts on his trusty raccoon hat.
Yeah. Are you
Now,
gonna put your jacket
oddly
on?
heavier, like 120 gold heavier.
Yeah.
And yes, gonna put on that flashy jacket.
Okay, and you walk straight over across the road to Dolph.
Oh yeah, right there.
Okay, so Dolph is just wiping up the bar and looks over at this odd sight, really. You have this really flashy tiefling with a raccoon on its head, and
Elaine's gonna follow.
Elaine's right behind. I'm assuming Stumbleduck as well.
Stumbleduck is going to follow slowly.
So like
Sadly.
this really weird ragtag group of folks, and Dolph just looks at you, and kind of just does one of these, and has a big smile on his face. Now he knows exactly what's going down. He can smell it in the air. He can smell the smell of dimwit apples, and looks and grins and pulls out 4 bottles of dimwit cider. And that is when we end our night.
You don't want us to see if we get drunk?
Oh no. Okay, so you're as Lunar is homesick, and dinner is waiting. You guys proceed to drink your fucking faces off with cider. Now, not only and that's the great thing about dimwit cider, is it's not only do you get a little tipsy, you get really happy because it's essentially concentrated happy.
So we all need to be euphoric as fuck.
Yeah, you guys got this great sense of like euphoria and that like, holy fuck, we nearly died, but you know what? Everything's gonna be okay.
I think I know what. Are we going? We're back at the mayor's house, right?
We're gonna hold off on that until next campaign or next round.
Okay.
Speaking of rounds, having been the closest to dying in the vision dream passed, whatever. First round's on Mordai because he's up for getting drunk.
Yeah. Well, and you nearly died earlier too, so.
True.
Yeah.
What a shit day.
Elaine, could you do a perception check?
Yes.
Cool.
That is not a very good one.
Oh no.
7.
Cool. All right. So you guys are elated. You sit down with the 3 bottles of cider.
And keep in mind my passive perception, 17.
Yeah, I'm very well aware. And Dolph kind of looks at y'all and goes, 1, 2, 3. Weird. And then actually kind of gets another bottle out and cracks it open and pours a glass for our little raccoon friend. And it kind of just like does one of these and starts sipping. And he's like, that's weird.
Wait. Shoes is still in Mordai, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then shoes just won't shove their face in the glass.
Okay. You don't want to get the coat dirty. That's the thing, though. Is like he's wearing that really nice coat.
It's more that shoes can't set the
cup down
anywhere too. Like
no, okay. So you kind of like are able because the horns are like this, right? They kind of
they bend back a little bit.
They bend back, so you're actually able to like hook the glass onto the horn and it kind of just rests on his head.
Your personal cup holder.
Yeah.
I am the best ride in town.
Like for real though. But Shoes also doesn't really have a concept of clothing. But Mordai seems happy about the jacket.
Yeah, you don't really have the concept of clothing. Like you don't wear it. Actually, I thought you kind of did, didn't you?
I mean, I didn't think so. I don't see Shoes wearing clothing, but that's just me.
Okay, well, you have the concept of wearing a bag.
Yeah.
So you also have the concept of someone wearing something and having a lot of pride in it.
Okay.
So you recognize that Mordai is like super stoked on the coat.
So then Shoes won't use Mordai's cup holder, and instead we'll just awkwardly but very tightly
hold on
to the cup and take like the tiniest sips known to mankind with very wide eyes.
And so Dolph is just, he had pulled out. He's kind of looking a little confused, and notices that Stumble's really enjoying this apple cider, and it says, "Well, hey, you know what? Tell you what, here," and actually gives Stumble 3 extra bottles.
Oh, 3 whole bottles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put them away for now, I think.
Okay. Cool.
3.
All right.
Wait, this is the cider, right? Dimwit cider?
Yeah, it's actually a kind of a rarity outside of Tresrio, as dimwit apples don't really grow.
I've harvested them. I have so many.
What's that, dear?
Are we here for the Dimwit Festival?
Not yet. You don't know when that is.
Shit.
Um,
They're here.
What's that?
But they're here.
Yeah, they are there. You just don't know when it is. You don't know. So that is where we will leave our campaign for tonight.
Go team.
Save the day. Save the cheerleader. Save the world.
Save
Wow.
this.
Cheerleader in all of this?
Lunar.
Okay.
Oh.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
Home in bed, ostensibly getting better, so saved.
Yeah.
Rolling saves, whatever.
Josh,
Yes.
in regards to the necklace, have you been forthcoming with everyone else about what you know about it?
I don't think so. I think that I just said it's safe to have.
Okay.
And if you like touch it, you're gonna get like the need to keep holding it, but like if I'm just wearing it, then I'm not going to necessarily like do anything different than just wearing it.
Okay.
But that's pretty much all that she said about it.
Wait, cool. Yeah, so those bottles are kind of like a rarity. Stumble, you've had one of these a long time ago, but there's quite some dry spell where it wasn't being made because just the apples weren't growing.
Okay.
But you get the idea that this is actually a fairly nice gift. In Tresrio, people have a little bit more access to it because they grow, but elsewhere, like they are not a thing.
Well, let's just assume that I did thank him because I think I forgot to do that.
Oh yeah, no.
There was a thanks somewhere there.
Okay, cool. Good job, guys. Thank you very much.
We did it.
Yeah, ooh, good job. I guess I have to write out the thing to Josh now.
Okay.
It's like every week we're about to die, and then we don't.
Yeah, like the thing is, the first time that Elaine drank alcohol was like, okay, I just almost died. Fuck it, I'm gonna take a drink with the rest of y'all. And now it fucking happened again. So she's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna drink again.
Elaine's turning into alcohol.
Like, Elaine is going to stand by the rule of she's only going to drink alcohol after near-death experiences. And that alone, she's gonna become a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah, in this
I love
party, Elaine's gonna spend most of her time fucking trashed.
Yeah.
I don't think Stumbleduck is an alcoholic. He just likes these apples, and he's kind of gotten dependent on them.
Okay, so are we gonna have like a sad fucking time in the campaign?
Oh God.
We have an intervention with Stumbleduck. Like, we sit Stumbleduck in the middle of a circle, and we all have letters, and like everybody's crying, and snot's just flowing from our faces.
The squirrel has the floor, is reading this long ass letter. No
So
one can
emotional.
understand, but Stumbleduck is just fucking bawling.
Choose with me too. Just crying.
Is Choose gonna be reading in Common or in Raccoon? Or both?
Probably both.
I think Stumble would shake it off, but I kind of don't want him to, so we can have this moment.
Oh my God. Well, Chelsea sure has one thing to come back to. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I kind of want Stumbleduck as Stumbledon on a shirt.
I would be so okay with this.
If we ever get famous.
I just want, I'm gonna punch it. I think that's gonna be my Magnus Rushes In.
I mean, what would Chooses thing be? Just like screams and raccoon? Or just like screaming raccoon face?
I mean that, but also Shine? Mine.
Yeah, shine, fine. That's it. We're good.
I would
But
also
now
like to
we
think
need the slogan.
that Choose is actually yelling Leroy Jenkins. We can't understand it.
I mean, you'd be able to understand it.
Like, who the fuck
At
is
least
that?
Choose still has chicken.
Oh my gosh.
Choose his chicken.
At least I still have chicken.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Iconic.
Here I was like, oh my god, what have I forgotten in my inventory?
Josh, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I just asked you.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Secrets don't make friends, and friends don't make secrets.
Hey, listen, this is not a cheerocracy, it's a cheertatorship.
I'm not here for this.
I'm here for this. Good job, team! Hey. Okay, now what? As we sit in silence.
I have an idea.
Okay.
So after we complete Stumble's intervention, we should start on a regularly, like a weekly basis. We should start doing the Snap Cup. Just fill it with compliments.
Yep. I think that's exactly what Elwood would want us to do.
I didn't buy these sparkly ass pink dice for anything. You know, for nothing, I mean. I can't English.
Okay, and to your question before of did she tell anybody about the necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that unless anyone asks for more information other than what she already said, she figures what she said was all that was really important. Also, she doesn't know the information that Lunar and Mo and I were talking about, or when they talked about how the Baylor had something to do with the death of Gary's wife and all that. So, like, she really doesn't think that anything about the Baylor is necessarily relevant for stuff. Just in the, I know that this necklace is important, and that's about it.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Is that for everyone?
No, for Josh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I guess we're gonna end our recording, and peace, guys.